I'm going to tell you something that a lot of you are going to relate to. As a child, everything was exciting to me. I was so happy as a child. What happened? What happened, Koi? When I first came out of the womb, everything was brand spanking new to me. Every single experience was something different. There's always stuff for me to do, stuff for me to check out, to explore, and experience to be had. There was no limit on what I can and cannot do because I, firstly, don't know what is right or wrong until the adults tell me to. Secondly, everything is just new territory. There's new stuff for you to explore. The world is your oyster. You don't know what you're going to get because you haven't experienced anything at all. The sky was your limit, they said. When an adult asked me what I wanted to do when I grow up, because I was really into Ben 10 at the time, I was really into rock and roll music at the time, and I was also really into drawing for some reason. So I just straight up told him, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a rock star. I want to be a world-class artist. That's what I told them. But isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, as a child, the cap on what we can and cannot do, it pretty much doesn't exist. There's no limit on your capability, on what you can achieve in your lifetime. There was no limit. But as you grow older, as you started to become part of this world, as you started bearing more responsibilities, you have things weighing you down. You start to tell yourself, hey, maybe being an arts major is good enough. Maybe I won't be an artist. Maybe being a bedroom guitarist is good enough. I don't want to be a rock star. And maybe just flying to Australia is good enough. I don't need to be flying to Mars or to Uranus. That's enough. Going to Australia, that's it. I'm done. I'm never flying again. I'm never traveling the world again. Staying on Earth is enough. As you start growing older and older, your limit decreases and decreases. Why is it? Why is it so? Throughout my time at working in the hospital, I've come to realize many things. The amount of sacrifices one must make in order to follow the path that one has chosen. A lot of my friends, they are junior doctors or medical students. And man, I mean, as a child growing up in Vietnam and in Australia even, I've always heard very good things about doctors. My mom is always carrying on and on and on about how some distant relatives' son or daughter is studying in medical school, and now they are a doctor. How prestigious, how privileged, how superior that family must have been to have their son or daughter enrolling in medical school. And no, I'm not being jealous. Yes, I am being jealous. I am being jealous. I am jealous of your titles. But I'm not jealous of the things that you have to sacrifice in order to get there. Man, all of the interns I've spoken to, they are always running late, as in working overtime, drinking a ton of coffee in order to stay awake during ward rounds. Stressed the fuck out. Sorry, I swore again. Stressed the hell out. I'm telling you guys, they're so stressed. It's insane. Always having bloodshot eyes. Some doctors, I even found them on dating apps. No wonder. They have no time to mingle with other people unless you're that kind of person. You can do two things simultaneously, passing exams and also going out and partying. I don't know how doctors do it. They must be doing it for something else. But man, you look at their lifestyles, a lot of them, they're not exactly healthy people, even though they are so-called healthcare professionals. Nurses even. Nurses, it's not, I mean, nurses aren't really, they don't have the sort of discipline, or I guess you can say the depth of knowledge and the breadth of knowledge that doctors have. They don't really specialize unless you choose to, complete postgraduate studies and specializing in upgrading your salary and also your title. But I mean, nurses on average, like out of school nurses, they aren't as stressed as doctors, and yet a lot of them choose to engage in unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy coping mechanisms. What I'm trying to say here is that you don't get everything in this world. You have to trade something for something else. The sky is your limit. And that's not because someone put a limit there. It has always been like that, but you have come to realize that much later. Before you start thinking about that promotion or that job title, think about what will it take for you to get there, and are you willing to do whatever it takes to get there. You don't get to become a consultant, the top dog medical doctor in your field, unless you go through 5 years of medical school. I don't know, 1 to 2 or even 3 years of internship, becoming a resident, becoming a fellow, or becoming a registrar, working alongside the top dogs, working in that career, doing more researching, passing exams. I don't know how it works. But yeah, the journey can take up to 20 years. And some people, they stretch it out even more because of all the commitments. They might start a family by the time they reach the age of 30. Man, a lot of my colleagues, they are even younger than me, and I feel like God bless them. They have such a heart to do what they are doing. I don't think I can do it. Many times I've thought about sitting the GAMSAT exam in order to get into medical school. But then I ask myself, for what? For what? Am I ready to sacrifice my relationships? I mean, I don't have a girlfriend now. I can probably do it. But then I'm someone who's prone to mental breakdowns. I'm not exactly the best person to be focusing on school for a long period of time, because I nearly went crazy graduating high school. I don't think I can do it, man. Maybe if there's some other alternative pathway, maybe. But then to become a doctor, to become a junior doctor fresh out of school, treating patients on the ward, in the emergency departments, you need to go through medical school. You need to pass exams. And I cannot do that. I cannot focus on schoolwork unless I shut other people out of my life. How am I going to feed myself? I'm not going to be working anymore. I'm going to be focusing on school. And people say you need to have work-life balance. You need to have school-life balance. I can't do that. And I've already proven it going to nursing school. I nearly failed. I nearly unalived myself because of all the stresses in my life. I can't deal with it. In the same way, when I think about all the aspects of life as well, you cannot be a workaholic and be a family man. My sister cannot get a boyfriend unless she stopped focusing. I'm not saying to quit her job entirely, but to dedicate some time into other activities outside of work. Join a club, do something, do yoga, even join a gym with me, do whatever. Just prioritizing other things if you want a family. And I'm guessing she doesn't. And me as well, if I need to find a girlfriend, I need to stop doing this whining on the internet. And nah, this doesn't take a lot out of me, but like I need to focus my attention elsewhere. Same with the gym. I cannot be focusing on the squat and the deadlift if I want to bring up my bench press. I need to specialize in this thing. Now ask yourself this question. What is it that I'm trying to achieve? What is my ultimate goal? Is your goal even that important? Because if after asking yourself this question and you still come to the conclusion that yes, this is what I want to do with my life, this is my destiny, I will die to reach this goal, then get ready to make some sacrifices. You don't get to be the best of the best athletes without sacrificing a lot of things. And sure, they might look glamorous on these fitness magazines and on YouTube and on the news, but behind the scenes, you don't see what they have to go through. They have to sacrifice a lot of things. A lot of these athletes, as you all know, live in the gym, live on the court, live on the field, training multiple times a day. And you might be saying, I'm also doing that. I'm going to get there. Just watch me. Are you willing to sacrifice your peace, your mental health? You need to have that sort of willpower, that sort of rigid routine, sticking by it for years on end. And what about your girlfriend, your relationships? Sure, a lot of these guys, they sleep around, they have a ton of options. But how many of them actually have a partner that stays around for long? You might be arguing, oh, they have options, they don't need to do that. Wrong. What else? Their health, the mental stress. Some of them sacrifice their health, their longevity for their career. A lot of them went on steroids at a young age because that's when the prime years of their life is. Am I right? The prime year before they retire. Got to hop on the steroids. Got to make the best use of your bodies at this time. Those are the sacrifices that you have to take in order to be the best of the best. I could think of so many other examples, but you get the ideas. You cannot serve two masters. What is the most important thing to you? As always, I appreciate you all being here. Stay strong, God bless, and I have complete faith in every one of you.